Yep, still here.
Two on one podcast. I'm Adam. You love me. Daniel, how are you? You're
I'm
here.
good. It's a
On
cold day
time.
today, right?
That's really
Yeah.
Sure. Nice day.
Is it
Alex, how
cold?
are
I
you?
have no idea if it's cold outside.
No,
I
No,
it's
haven't.
it's
pretty
not
cold.
outside.
I
It's
haven't
pretty
been
cold.
outside yet.
Alex, how are you?
Oh, not so bad.
That's not bad.
How are you?
Okay.
How are you guys prepping for the lockdown?
For the lockdown?
I mean-
well, we're not in lockdown.
Well, I don't know,
Where are we at?
Adam. You're in Quebec.
Yeah. Well, I'm coming to. I'm actually coming back tomorrow from the week of my mom's birthday.
No.
Wow.
I'll be in Ontario till the 1st of December.
But
That's not,
because of the lockdown,
is
though,
Quebec in lockdown?
It's been in like a red zone. I haven't left my apartment beside going downstairs to get groceries in about a month. So
I-
I've
such a
barely
good
Barely leave
situation
my
like
house.
that,
I'm
having a grocery store
Yeah.
just down there.
Yeah.
But
Wait,
the
we're not in
upsetting-
lockdown, are we, Daniel?
we're going to be on lockdown starting Monday. So the upsetting thing is Alex and I actually can't go to Adam's house for cottage pie.
exactly.
So upset.
We had that opportunity, that one Saturday, but I think Alex was busy.
Yeah, put the blame on me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, we're here.
Easy thing to do. Put the blame on me.
If everyone thought that Thanksgiving alone was going to be bad, I think they just had American Thanksgiving, right? Or is it coming up?
No, it's
soon?
next.
It's
Isn't
Thursday,
it?
right?
Isn't
Yeah.
it next week? Because it's the same weekend as Black Friday, and that's the 27th,
Dumb.
which I think is next week.
Listeners, don't go to stores during Black Friday.
Oh, that's going to be great to see the videos this year.
I'm waiting for Cyber Monday.
Yeah. Have you guys, since Christmas is coming up, how are you looking for your Christmas shopping?
Amazon.
Amazon? Are you done yet, or have you?
No.
You know what we should do
Hold on.
for other households?
For like what? What?
Just a picture of yourself signed.
Keep this for the future. It might be
Mhm.
valuable.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you say.
Terrible gift. Daniel, how are you doing in your Christmas shopping?
I just gave you my idea.
I know, but I mean,
Have
like,
you started Christmas
friends
shopping?
and family though, like have you
Hmm.
actually like? Is this your plan? You're gonna get all your family printed pictures of you, black and white, signed.
Yeah, I mean, why not? If you buy it in bulk, it's gonna be. A lot
Oh, it's gonna be
cheaper, right?
black. It's gonna be a black and white picture. You're not even gonna splurge on the
So,
color.
I don't know. Yeah.
You haven't started either.
Austerity measures for a student, right?
So you haven't started your Christmas shopping.
I don't like. When do you guys usually start yours? Like,
I finished yesterday.
you're done? Wow, you.
I spent all day yesterday figuring out what I was getting everyone, and I ordered it all.
So the
Yeah.
journalist deadline motto doesn't really hit you that well, right? Like, I'm going for that. Day before, 2 days before.
Think of it
I
like
file it.
everything. Well, normally ordering stuff gets really annoying. You know, especially if you try and find a more unique sort of gift. Like closer it gets to December, and everything's going to be even more backlog. So I wanted to get all my stuff done, so I would for sure have everything. Like I'm getting the latest. I'm getting delivered something, which I'm getting for my brother, or I may keep. I don't know yet. I'm getting on the 14th of December. Everything else is starting to come, starting today actually. But I'm getting it delivered to my parents' place in Pickering, obviously, because I'm going to be back and forth for holidays from Montreal and that, right? But yeah, I'm on it.
No,
Adam, you didn't have to get anything
sorry.
like special for Alex and I. We will be thankful for whatever you got us.
Good, because I didn't.
Again, Daniel's just including me in things we haven't discussed before.
I don't even. We should do that eventually. We should do a 2-on-1 podcast, Secret Santa, even though it's 50-50 who we're going to get. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
get Mike on.
Yeah, I brought up the idea already though. Like the Tim's cards. How are we gonna trade these now?
I don't know. You know what's funny? I had $100 Tim's gift card that's in Toronto.
Oh,
I
no.
told my mom, who's obviously on her way to work, she gets a coffee every morning. I'm like, you use my card and you get me those cards. And I think she has around 8 packs waiting for me at home.
You can just. Why don't you just spend? Because you can buy the pack separately, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you just spend the $100 gift card? Be like, I want $100 worth of Tim Hortons hockey cards.
And one coffee, please. Just
And
to
one
make sure the
coffee.
promotion is working. I think one time I asked for 10 packs
Good
when I bought
God.
one coffee, but they're like, no, the limit is I think 3 per customer.
Oh,
So I
That's
got my mom and my sisters to each get one coffee, and then they got 3 packs at the same time after me.
So here's what's weird. And by the way, Alex, I could do that, But at the same time, if my mom is doing the legwork here, I gotta cut her in. So
fair,
like
that's
might as
fair.
well. And again, it's going to be cheaper because it's only $1 for the cards if you
Oh,
if you
see.
get it along with the drink, right? So
That
it's
is
all
true.
about, you gotta be a good person. It's the
You
giving.
make good points.
Yeah, and again, her birthday's on the 26th, so I thought, you know what, a bit of an early gift as well, because like everyone's been it. It's like my stepfather's birthday is passed, my brother's has, mine obviously, and now my mom's, and it's just been a whole like everyone's at that point where they've had a COVID birthday.
Yeah.
And it sucks. Right?
Yes,
But,
it does.
yeah, we should talk about hockey, right? Or want to talk about
Probably.
basketball first, actually. Somehow, Fred VanVleet, he's
Breaking
back.
news.
Yeah, right before the show. What was the deal again? Like 4 years?
4 years, $85 million.
Yeah.
I couldn't do the math in my head, so I had to figure it out.
20 something, right?
21.25.
Yeah, close.
Undrafted.
Really?
Yes, from Wichita State.
Is that as big of a story in the NBA as it normally is in the NHL?
Yeah, it's pretty big because he played, I think, the full 4 years of his NCAA eligibility. So that's already like considered unattractive to teams because he's not considered like a young prospect anymore that they could bring up. And then the fact he went undrafted and then to what he eventually became the year before they went to the finals and then the finals and then this year as well, like it's pretty astounding and, testament to Masai's like development system he's really established here.
Yeah.
Screams like Yanni Gord as an NHL comparison. What about
Yeah.
Serge? What's going on with Alex? Where's Serge Ibaka?
I don't know yet. I thought everyone was saying he was going somewhere else. So
Oh, no. It was a good run.
he was on a plane yesterday.
Oh yeah,
It wasn't the MLS plane though. I looked.
No.
I did a double
like,
check.
I'm going.
He's switching sports. Breaking news.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Weren't the Lakers? I saw somebody tweeting about the Lakers were in on Gasol, even though
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't they sign someone else?
Montrezl Harrell.
Montrezl Harrell, yeah.
and
I really like him.
George are really mad about it.
Well,
Yeah.
it sucks. Life sucks.
Well, they mortgaged their future for.
Bill or Donald out here, and we can just do we can do a very like it's like an intro to basketball. Get Will Baldwin, get Donald Higney on, and just be like, teach us everything.
I
Until
have so
today,
many questions.
I didn't know how to say Donald's last name. Thank you, Adam.
I think it's Higney.
Higney?
I think so.
Okay.
Sorry if I'm wrong, Donald.
We will confirm.
Yeah.
Confirmation. And also
Eventually.
the Raptors. The Blue Jays had to play in Buffalo. Now the Toronto Raptors will begin the 2020-2021 NBA season in Tampa Bay after being unable to secure permission to play in Canada. Not really a shock, though, is it, Alex?
No. I mean, I think that kind of solidifies what's going on with the NHL.
Mhm.
Like, I think there's going to be a Canadian division. And I think they're just going to be playing each other. No fans. They're just going to be playing each other.
I'll take it. Daniel, what about you? How do you, the baseball guy, you saw your beloved Jays have to go play in Buffalo. Now We the South is trending.
Yes. I'd actually like to give a shout out to my friend Aiden Lissing. I know hopefully he's listening to this. He is a Ryerson Journalism alumnus, and the thing I posted on my Instagram story of the Tampa Bay Raptors and the
Yeah.
ball is the orange and it's like has the
Isn't that their baseball field, Tropicana or whatever?
yeah Tropicana Field. So yeah, shout out to him. That was an amazing design. I loved it.
Here's a Tropicana Arena.
Tropicana Field.
That's their thing.
Canada.
That's
where
their baseball.
Like
This is the Miami Marlins.
Yes,
play,
the
yeah.
juice.
I'm more of a Minute Maid man myself.
Yeah.
Drinking some orange juice right now. If you want to go look at that, and all of us go check out the YouTube portion of the show.
We never know how. When I found out about that when I was a kid, I'm like, I did not know how big the orange juice industry is.
Man, that's a perfect way to start your day. Maybe some fried tomatoes on some.
In the orange juice?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay,
don't do
just
this.
confirming,
Oh, you do
Oh.
some orange juice on the side. You make some
Okay.
eggs on toast, maybe some fried tomatoes, and you're good.
You ask the simple questions. Remember, in journalism, you confirm every fact.
Yeah. But
Oh, try to be a good journalist on the podcast.
playing
Okay.
dumb, playing dumb, and then there's like, do I put orange juice in my scrambled egg?
I think one of the first questions, one of the first things they said to us on the first day is like, there are no stupid questions.
Even though not gonna lie, I hear hockey questions in scrums, and I think that's a dumb question.
That's a dumb question. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I do it at all press conferences. It is becoming pretty bad.
You know what I just had a fear of
It's pretty bad. Yeah.
when I did stuff for the eye opener last year, that during the media scrums that I just be too nervous to say a question that I'm just gonna end up using the answers of what the other people asked.
I'd be nervous there, especially for like the first sort of scrum. Like, so how'd you play? Well,
I remember forcing myself to speak, and then playing back that audio of the first few media scrums. They were rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine
Especially-
listening back to episode 1 of this podcast. God,
Especially
that was
when
rough.
the athlete was like, "Sorry, I didn't understand your question."
Oh,
That gives you confidence. I've had that a few
Speaking of old episodes,
yeah,
Alex, you mentioned
I did mention.
sounded different. Something kind of happened that you guys had, a last minute or improv episode about something that happened 1 year ago.
Oh, yes, we did. Yesterday, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I even forgot myself. Mike Babcock got fired.
Yep.
That was a fun episode.
It was something. I mean, I can still remember Alex. I called him like, "Hey, so what happened?" And he's like, "All right." He was going to the gym. He's like, "Well, never mind. Not going to the gym."
I guess not.
Where did you guys record it?
Skype.
On Skype?
Yeah,
Okay.
we were doing 2 episodes a week. I think we had figured that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you recorded at school for some reason.
No, we did that once with you.
Once. Okay.
you.
Yes.
That's when we did our trade deadline with the hockey cards. I remember that quite well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
that one was
spent
pretty
like
funny.
20 minutes trading hockey cards in practical silence.
I know.
It was kind of it was like
You two were the silence. I was
you're right. No, it was you're absolutely right.
I think it's also like we were like in like the audio suite, like the editing suite at the Rogers Communication Center. It just I don't know why it was kind of weird to talk there because it's such a small area and there's like the 3 of us there.
Yeah. Remember when 3 people that are like not in the same household could be in a small room together?
Simple times.
Yeah. Remember not wearing masks? Oh,
I know.
Right though. Let's really talk some hockey. First thing I really want to talk about, guys. It feels like they've been out for ages now, even though they've been released, I think, since last Friday, and we don't record on Sundays right now. The reverse jerseys, NHL retro reverse jerseys, are all out, and I asked everyone. I asked you two. Should have gotten Mike on, honestly, for this. To give me, we were all going to give our top 3 and our bottom 3 of these jerseys. Be sure to check them out. Alex, just quickly, is screen share enabled? Can
Give me
you just
1
put
second.
that on and
Yeah, give me 1 second.
I'll just
Go ahead. It's working.
Oh, it's working now? Okay.
It should be.
As we'll get the retro jerseys up and people can have a look on the YouTube version. And then at home you can follow along because they really are. A lot of them, I think it went over a lot better than I thought it would. I thought there were some really, really nice ones. Daniel, why don't we start with you? I want you to give me one of your third favorite. Let's go like that.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the Nordiques one, the Colorado Avalanche Nordiques one. That's my third.
Why? Why is it only third?
Okay, so like I'm probably gonna have the unpopular opinion here, and the way I see it, you know, it might be the same thing you're gonna say for my top one, but the way I see it is that it's the same thing as the Hartford one. You know, they were already beloved jerseys, and I know that you're kind of throwing it back to what the teams were before they relocated, but to me, it's the same thing. You just added the colors of the current team.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, like, I know they had all of that going on, if you could see the YouTube channel, but I'm not saying like it's a bad jersey. I'm like, I really do love it. I love the throwback. I love that the Nordiques finally get some love in 2020. It's just, it's not my top one because I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't know. To me, it's just as it is.
It's more just, hey, we're gonna get the Nordiques jersey. We're gonna, make our red into burgundy, and we're gonna put some gray into the blue. Really, like the
Mm-hmm.
fleur de lis. I think it's really nice.
The
Yeah.
Leafs one?
It is on mine, but
The what? Which jersey?
The Nordiques one.
Oh, the Nordiques one. I think I heard something about the Leafs.
Oh, you said
I'm
Fleur
like,
de Lis.
oh, sorry, I misheard that. Oh God.
No. Leaf. Fleur de lis.
Sorry.
Flowery thing. That's all.
Yeah. No. I know it. I know.
Good. All right. Who gave us your second favorite then?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It was like a weird toss up for me. I'm gonna have a few honorable mentions for my second one.
Okay.
Of course.
The first one, and the only thing that kind of throws the one as an honorable mention, but the thing is that kind of like holds it back is the fact they put the name at the front of the jersey. I
Okay.
think they should have just kept the logo, and it's the Washington Capitals one.
Oh, okay.
Because I really like they brought back that eagle. I like that they had the majority of the red. It reminded me of, I guess, in the 90s, like when I used to play those games, it was like Adam Oates and Joe Juno. And then to the early 2000s, that's when Jaromir Jagr gets shockingly traded to the Washington Capitals when he leaves the Penguins. So that was kind of like a good throwback for me. Another honorable mention, and it's going to have to be the Minnesota Wild, because they brought back, I know it's the same thing I said in the Nordiques, but they brought back the North Stars colors.
They did.
And I think it looks really good. I think this could have been like an everyday jersey for them. The fact they brightened up everything, and they took out like that, burgundy red,
Yeah.
the blood, ox blood off
Is
of
that
it.
what it is?
I don't know.
I
It
don't-
sounded like a darker red.
It's like some other woodland creature a bear would kill, not an ox.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think oxes live in Minnesota.
No, that's the color of it's called ox blood.
I wish they would have done something like a newer logo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fan of yellow and green to begin with, but like it could look worse. Not to downplay your thing, but it could look worse. Is the compliment I'll give to Minnesota,
Mm-hmm.
which is always a criticism of the team itself. But I mean, we'll go on. What else, Daniel?
Okay, other honorable mention before number one has to go to the Calgary Flames. That jersey was the one that I really remember because it was when I really started getting into hockey. That's when
Lightning horse, right?
Aguila made that surprising run 2004 finals. That was something in my childhood that was a huge thing. I really thought they were going to beat the Lightning. I don't know why, for some reason I didn't like the Lightning at the time because they were just too stacked. So you really wanted Aguila and friends to, they already had a surprising playoff run that year that I'm like, they should have capped it off.
Steve Daniel agrees with you there. But that would have been like what, Vinny LeCavalier, Marty. Who else would have been on?
Brad Richards, Nikolai Habibulin when he was like a Vezina goalie. Also had Dan Boyle in his prime.
All right. So who's your number one? So do you have any more honorable mentions, or do you want to go to your number one here?
My number one's the Ducks. I know it's
course
pretty
it is.
biased.
Of course it is.
The thing is, they actually brought back a throwback one.
It's so ugly.
Like, this is the one where they still had Solani and Korea playing together. This is a one that, okay, so I'll say it this way. So for so long, I remember when I was a kid, people were like, this is the worst jersey the Ducks ever had, which I disagree with. And the fact that there's that 90s nostalgia now that people look back and they're like, man, that jersey was actually pretty nice. And if you go on eBay to look at the original one of this, it's like almost $2,000.
Yeah.
And it came out at the same time when the Mighty Ducks cartoon was getting really popular. So like to see, Wild Wing come out of the ice like that was pretty iconic for me. And again, like this was also right before the Ducks traded Timo Solani to the San Jose Sharks. So, you still had the Korea Solani era going on when you had this jersey. So this is a number one for me. And this is the one that I have to get when it comes out.
I mean, what are they starting at? $300?
I think so, yeah, because they're all
different for every
Adidas, right?
team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, where's the Batmobile?
This is about the jerseys right
I love
now.
how you brought that up.
Yeah.
Before I throw to Alex for his top three,
Mm-hmm.
you guys see they released the biggest Lego set ever. It's coming
No,
out
what is it?
7.
What is it?
The Coliseum.
No way. I'd buy that.
It's not like it's 9,000 pieces, right?
Good God.
It's not as massive as you think. I think what it's going to be, it's a very intricate build. Because it's weird, because you know how Lego, it's always like 9 plus, 12 plus.
What's this one?
50 plus.
The age on Lego of 18 plus for it.
Nice.
I just wanted to try and make it not sound like a loser when I inevitably buy it. But I just wanted to bring that up. All right, Alex,
How much is it?
it's less than the Death Star, actually. Is all I'll say.
And how much is the Death Star?
Don't worry about that. Alex, your top three. Starting who do you got?
Number 3, I think it's going to be Colorado. I mean, pretty much for the same reason. Like, I really like it. Like, despite what Daniel's saying about them bringing back the old logo and just putting their color on top of it, I really like this jersey. Like, I just think the way it looks, and I think everyone secretly wants Quebec back, but we all know the NHL is never going to do it.
I don't think it's a secret, Alex.
Well, no, everyone wants it, but no, we all know they're not going to do anything. But yeah, like, just because of that, the nostalgia, I really like the jersey. My second one is Arizona.
All right.
I don't know why. I love the purple. Like, this is like one of this is like the only good thing they've done in a pretty long time. It's right there. I just think it really fits their team.
Mm-hmm.
Before we move on, you know what?
Yeah.
One thing I just didn't like about this jersey, it would have been higher for me
What's up?
if they didn't have the cactus
What do you
at
mean?
the
What?
bottom. But
What do you mean?
that part, okay, that part of it makes it look like it's like a DH Gate jersey.
Hey, that's the man. This is I have
disagree.
Arizona up in my top 3 too. So I'll come back for you, Daniel, in a second. I'm gonna come back.
I do, like, yeah, like, I disagree. Like, I think the cactus makes it look kind of cool. Like, they're embracing the fact that they are in a warm climate. I don't know if that's the reason they put it there, but it's there.
All right. Alex, you're number 2.
My number 1.
The cactus.
My number 1. My
Sorry.
number 1.
Yeah. I'm so beyond.
My number 1, and again, this is for nostalgia reasons, but I think the jersey looks absolutely awesome, is the Los Angeles Kings.
Oh, the old Gretzky version. Yeah.
Oh, it just looks so good, and I think it's going to look really good now. I think it's going to look better. I just pretty much nostalgia, but that's why. So
A lot of people go on about green in sports. I want more purple like that. Not
and it
purple.
stands out, right? Like, it's going to stand out on the ice.
Oh yeah, it looks freaking nice. You know, they've been. I'm not a massive fan of the black and gray that the Kings do. I know they put a little bit of gold in the uniform, but like, honestly, this is the way to go. All right,
This is the way.
this is the way. I'm gonna wait for the season of Mandalorian to finish. So I'm gonna go and watch it. All right.
Okay.
So my top 3. This is very easy for me, actually.
Daniel, I'm sorry. I'm surprised he didn't pick New Jersey. I'm not going to lie.
That's an ugly jersey.
I know, but
the Christmas one.
yeah, but bro, Durr and
That's the throwback one too. That one was kind of like, I should have mentioned that too. That was an honorable mention as well, purely for the nostalgia, because they actually just brought back an original one.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, makes sense. Okay, sorry, Adam. Go ahead.
No worries. Okay. So number 3, I keep going back and forth on this jersey, but it's starting to grow on me. When I first saw the concept of it, like the flat sort of crappy Photoshop that people do, I was like, no, it's not terrible, but it's not great. And then I saw a picture of a player wearing it. I'm like, okay, I really like it. And that's actually Montreal's.
Yeah.
It's quite jarring at first because it's just been, they've had blue in their jersey obviously for their entire lifetime, but it's always mainly been red. And they had like the weird candy cane one, and it's just, I don't believe them when they say this is based off the 76 jersey because it's the current jersey, but you swap the red and the blue. But we can't get that past me. But I just think it's a really sharp looking jersey, and they had it on like Suzuki, and it looks really good.
Yeah, it is nice.
It is a nice jersey.
I do enjoy it.
Is there bias in there? Yeah. Guess what? My team, my list. I don't care.
Is this a pre-order, Adam?
No, I'm not spending $300 on a jersey. That's insane.
$300.
Exactly.
So I
But-
can't
but
do that
still,
math, but
It's a nice jersey. Like,
yeah,
is
it is a nice jersey.
sexy.
I do enjoy it.
Number 2, we've looked at it a bunch already, but I almost put the Nordiques Colorado on number 1, but then I just kind of realized, okay, it's not that creative. As we've kind of, it's just a color swap with the old. So it is a bit of sacrilege to the Nordiques. It kind of is. And I am the biggest fan of them coming back in the world. You guys know that. I want my Battle of Quebec really, really badly. So it did feel like a bit of a slap in the face. And when Steve Daniels like get a Wad jersey on this, I wanted to cry. But it felt really, really nice. My number 1.
You're gonna get Eric Lindros on it.
That hurts. That hurts. Number 1 for me is the Arizona one. Their normal Kachina is just. They have these jerseys with the Kachina that it's just, it doesn't look like it should be in the NHL, but it works. Like it's sort of cartoony. The coyote thing works, and it has like the half mask. It looks like a Soul Reaper from Bleach. I don't know how many people are gonna get that reference.
I didn't even get the reference.
It looks like it's a Hollows mask, and then it's just the sort of cartooniness of the cactus and the moon and like the dunes of the desert that I think make it. And like I love purple. I love the look of purple and orange on this jersey. It is so nice. It just sucks that Arizona is such a joke because they have some of the nicest jerseys in the sport.
They should just make this their home jersey.
They should. This is seriously one of the nicest jerseys I've ever seen. It is just so nice, Daniel. I don't know what you're.
No, I like it. I just don't like the bottom.
Just the cactus.
And like the orange like hills. Like I know.
It's character. It's creative. It's not.
It looks like an added thing that you would get when you buy a fake jersey online.
That's the fun in it. It's just like, oh, look at me on the Bruins. We're gonna go all straight laced and okay. You know what? I'll do my bottom 3, and then we'll go Alex, and then back to Daniel. Right? GM Superb Man is live. Alex will be able to watch his Leaf stream after this, probably.
Oh, are they? Is he live?
He just went live. Yeah. Okay. My bottom 3.
Yeah.
My third least favorite is actually the Oilers.
But aren't these jerseys supposed to be retro reviewed? They're not supposed to be creative, are they?
I think they need. Okay, here's the thing. I will argue that I love Montreal's because it's so different. And again, it has nothing to do with the 1976 team. It's just the normal jersey with swapped colors. Okay. The Kachina is the most creative jersey. For this, it's not retro. It's retro reverse. I get you're bringing it back, but I just look at the sort of Oilers one. I'm like, okay, your Gretzky one, great. I don't care. I don't think there's enough zazz to it. I kind of want something a bit more creative in my sort of jersey. The only reason that Colorado's is up there is because it's just playing on my heartstrings. But I mean, Montreal, Arizona's just looks. I mean, Vancouver's is better than the Oilers in my opinion, and Vancouver's one looks terrible. But they tried something new with fading the colors. It doesn't work.
Oh, it looks awful.
Oh, it looks disgusting. But hell, you tried. I mean, I hate New York's because I don't feel like there's enough going on around the collar and the sleeves. But man, at least you tried something a little different. Like I like Phillies with the black how it wraps around the arms, but
go back to the Rangers for a second.
Yes.
It literally looks like they just photoshopped that logo onto the picture.
The model doesn't even like it. Look at his poor face.
That was when the Rangers were. I remember that era. They were one of the highest spenders, but they were like one of the worst teams.
But anyway, no offense, but I don't Gretzky sort of. The Kings works because it looks genuinely nice. I don't care that it's Gretzky, and I don't care that you're bringing back a Gretzky Oilers thing because, quite frankly, it just reminds me of how disappointing the team.
You know what I wish they brought back?
What?
The 2000 and the one they had in like when they went to the finals, 2006. So Todd McFarlane, the guy who did a lot of the 80s Spider-Man and like he created Spawn.
Yeah.
He created an Oilers one of like remember like the the drop, and then it was like a machine-like thing behind it. That was probably one of my favorite ones.
I don't think many people like that jersey. I do. I'm with you, but I don't think it's popular in Edmonton.
No,
No.
I remember because that was also the jersey they had. Yeah, when they went to the finals, and then after Chris Pronger's like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Mm-hmm. Right. My second from the bottom is the Leafs one.
Fair.
Because I don't know what it is. I don't like a lot of gray on jerseys. Like I'm not a big fan of San Jose's, and it just has the bleach. And like I don't like how the logo just seems like kind of big. It feels like when you were younger and you would try and like you were doing an assignment on Word and you needed a picture, and instead of properly framing it, you just dragged it out and it looked a bit bloated and the quality dropped on the picture. Apparently it looks better in person. It's just from the picture, I'm like, nah, that doesn't do it for me.
No.
I'd like the logo if it was like on a hat.
So, yeah, I think that's fair.
If it was on a hat. Oh, I was on a hat, yeah.
On a hat, yeah. I'd buy that.
Yeah. It's like, and the shape, I don't hate the shape of the leaf. I think it's pretty nice. It's not the cookie cutter one.
Thank God.
But it's just like, what gets me is the size of it and the sleeves. I don't know why, sleeves are an important part of a jersey for me. And my least favorite is the practice jersey from Detroit.
You mean their all-star jerseys?
I mean, my God, on it. Like, come on. This is bad.
It's literally an all-star jersey. They just removed the all-star logo. That's it.
It's
yes.
So terrible. And then, come on, Iserman.
Selling the unsold jerseys.
Yeah, and by the way, honorable mention to the Islanders.
Oh my God, it's the same jersey.
Alex, you're
okay. Okay, my third one is Vancouver. I just it looks weird.
Yeah.
I don't know who thought the blending was that good of an idea. It just didn't work. But it was creative, so I guess they get some credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. I would have liked maybe if they did the V.
Yeah.
The black, red, and yellow one.
Or the skate.
Yeah, like anything but this logo. Not that I don't like this logo, but let's kick it back.
We love the Orca.
Yeah. My second one is the Leafs. The picture that they put out, I don't like. But I think Sid Sixero had it on SDP, and it looks much better from that than it does from what they took. But still, I still don't like it that much. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's the reason. I don't know. That's why I don't like this jersey. The least favorite one, it's a tie because they're both absolutely boring in so many ways. The Red Wings and the Islanders.
Please tell me they're on the same picture. No, okay. Well,
it's okay. The Red Wings is literally the 2019 All-Star jerseys.
Yeah. With
the All-Star logo removed. The Islanders one is pretty much their regular jersey. What is different?
Sorry, just the spelling.
I didn't even notice the spelling. Like, okay, they changed the color. They changed the color, guys. Okay, they changed the blue a little bit.
I think
they added some
white. Difference is they made the blue darker
and they added some white, a little bit.
No, the third one is nice.
Like oh God, I do not like. Literally 2 days after, did they not release merch with their old logo, the one with the
fisherman?
Yeah, the fisherman.
Yeah, that one's cool.
They had it on hats and other stuff, but on the jersey, no.
They listened to me. I just wanted the logo on the hat.
Okay.
I think it's boring.
Daniel, your bottom three.
All right, my apps, the one that I actually don't like because of how disappointing it was and the chance they had was the Winnipeg Jets.
Oh, to go back to Atlanta? Because that was my first thought.
No.
I'm not going to lie. Yeah. That was my first thought.
No, it's because I cannot remember who I remember someone wrote about it, but it was kind of true where they had a chance to bring back like at least some kind of the original jersey with like the colors that they have that remind people of remember when Timo Solani had 76 goals as a rookie for your team. Let's look back on those days of the Jets and let's bring back those colors, or like a different form of how that original logo was, where it was a bit jagged. It was a bit kind of like when you look at it, you're like, okay, yeah, it was there for that era. And I really believe that they had. I think Steve Dangle talked about it too. Like they were blessed with getting back the team and getting back the colors. Like they could have done something more.
Yeah, that's true. I wonder how much they could actually use though. Like I know they have the name and that and the colors, but I have a feeling that there might have been some roadblocks.
Yeah. Call me crazy, but there should be a jersey that shows their history. So it shows the Atlanta Thrashers and the Phoenix Coyotes.
It really should have. They should have done an Atlanta one. It would have been so jokes.
That'd been funny. I would I would have been like,
Can I be honest?
We could all get an Eel Kovalchuk one.
I think people are whinging a bit too much about that.
Which one?
I love this Jets jersey.
You do?
I think it looks so nice.
So you don't
remember when they had the reflex jerseys? Do you remember those?
I don't listen, it's all about the combination. Like a light blue in that, or like teal and gray, but like a dark blue with a darker gray like this, I think looks really nice, and accented with like the sort of lighter blue that Winnipeg and around the Jet itself. I think that looks nice. It's all about how you use the colors.
Yeah, because I like the logo. The gray, I don't know.
Like I think like Tampa Bay's, I'm not a massive fan of, because it's like the weird back. Like I just look. What was with like these sort of older jerseys and like the weird dark gray, light grays?
I wish they brought back like I'm fine with this jersey. It's just other than I put the blue on the top and then I make the rest of the jersey black, so it's kind of a throwback to their Stanley Cup winning team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not this year, 2004.
Yeah, sorry, Lord, and go on though. Do you have honorable mentions? How many do you have?
My honorable mentions. I guess it's Detroit. Actually, no, my second. Oh no, I want my second one. So before honorable mentions, before number one, my second worst one I don't like is Vancouver. Same thing Alex said, but also like I think for me, and this is coming from someone who's not a Canucks fan, but I really wanted to see the skate again.
Yeah,
I wanted to see the black jersey come back again. Again, that was a time other than 2011, like 1994 was, and I did not watch this, but that's when they went to the finals against the Rangers. That was the jersey they had, Pavel Bure. There's a jersey like Trevor Linden, that was the team. Mm-hmm. And like they had that opportunity to kind of bring it back. I know that the Orca is beloved there, but again, like the fade is really off for me.
Mm-hmm.
That Vegas jersey so retro.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to put that out there.
I remember, the good old days. Vegas coming out, we congregated at places to watch games.
It's based off an ECHL team, isn't it? I was reading something about, and I think there was mention of it's actually a throwback to that.
Oh, okay.
They've obviously used their shoulder logo. If it's funny you bring that up, I prefer this over their golden terrible thing.
Yeah, so do I.
It reminds me of the video game Shovel Knight.
Yes,
it reminds me of it. Yeah.
Okay, what are your honorable mentions?
Okay, my honorable mention for like the worst one is like the Detroit Red Wings. Again, not a lot of creativity there. And I guess my worst one, it's kind of weird. I mean, like the Islanders are kind of up there too because they didn't do anything. Yep. The Panthers, I think I wish they kind of went back to other colors. Like the logo was fine, but nothing really working for me there. My worst one is the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Wow, okay.
Because it's just Pittsburgh. And when I like look back on this and thought about this, these retro jerseys, the Penguins never really brought back like the original one they had like in the 90s when they won the cup. Mm-hmm. I don't understand why. And the other one was, and I'm probably in the minority for this, but I remember when they used to have the blue jerseys. They used it for the Winter Classics. That used to be an alternate. I really liked that blue, and it was a throwback to when they were just starting out. And I really wish they kind of brought that here with like the yellow. That would have been really nice.
Baby blue is a really underrated color, by the way. You can use it really, really well.
That was also Malkin's Hart Trophy year when they used that jersey as their third jersey.
I feel really bad for this particular model because it feels like they've been giving him all the bad jerseys. I'm so all right. Are there any other ones you guys just want to give a shout out to? Like Nashville's looks the same. I mean, yeah, we mentioned your jersey went back to the Christmas colors. You guys want to mention?
Wait, go with that Dallas Stars one.
I think
I can't even read stars, but that's fine, I guess.
It's a faded jersey. It's supposed to look retro. It's already pre-faded for you.
I don't hate their old like the really dark, so like the dark green black ones they had, like the Medano ones. I think those. Shout out to Pete Blackburn giving the Carolina Hurricanes crap for like juicing the Whalers.
I know, that's what I kind of thought too.
For what?
For just using the Whalers at every chance they get. And I love how he also gave him crap. It was like, so you got the Whalers jersey and you made it a darker gray. Slight tinge of darkness into the gray. And also, let's give a shout out to the Blackhawks, who have just so happened to have barely shown their logo in the reveal. Even here on NHL.com, it's to the side.
They definitely have had a jersey like that. Like
the Leafs
exactly like that before.
The model for the Leafs borderline
so.
did that too. Like she's like tilted in a way where like you could see only like right at the edge of the logo, and then that's it. You don't see the other side of the jersey.
Let's be clear. The only reason this happened is because everyone needs money.
Yeah. Again, the Sabres one, I don't like that the name is there.
By the way, wait, just so you know, I'm mentioning the Blackhawks because like it's interesting that they might. Does this mean they legitimately might change the name and the logo?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. How like they didn't show it. No, I believe in the past. I can't remember exactly the story with it, but I just find it very interesting that they're not showing it.
There was something that came out a few months ago. I think we talked about it on the show too. I don't remember the story. Let's see if I can find it quickly.
But hey, I mean, it does, by the way, look like a few outdoor game jerseys they've had over the past few years.
Yeah.
They love going to black as that main color. They really do. But man,
I do not think they are changing it.
Oh, that's one thing we got to do is we're doing a deep dive on the Blackhawks later in the show. So, I mean, hey, they're a weird team. I don't know how they're going to do this year. Right. So, guys, there was a little idea that kind of like spurted out on Twitter. I remember how exactly it came to be. I'm sure Alex will remember this. This thing about the Leafs and the idea of playing 3 defensemen, which is strange. What happened? What was this all about?
I believe it was Jack. I don't remember his last name. Jack Han. I think he used to be an assistant coach with the Marlies, and apparently this was discussed before with the Marlies and Sheldon Keefe. So he was saying it could be an idea that they use, and then I don't know. There's some stuff. I don't know. There's stuff. There was a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of stuff, eh?
A lot of stuff. I think Anthony Stewart got. I don't know. Got messy.
Let's explore the idea, because normally, if you don't know, then clearly you're not a hockey fan. You play 2 defensemen normally, unless there's a case when you're normally going the 7D route, and then like you might have like an extra center cover like the wing, right. Or like I know before Victor Mete said like 7D played a little bit of wing. It's just a thing. It seems really weird that if any organization, well, it's not weird because the Leafs have tried weird stuff with the Marlies before, but it's just, what I said to you guys was like, I think of the Leafs and I'm like, okay, listen, is allowing goals a problem? Yeah, but I mean, your kind of strength is your scoring. Why don't you think of 3D? Like hockey standards, it's an incredibly creative idea.
Mm-hmm. And I think there's teams that can employ it. Like, I think if there's a team out there who could employ this strategy, there is one. The San Jose Sharks. Like, you have Brett Burns and Erik Karlsson, who are like can be your third forward.
Or Nashville.
or Nashville, right? Like any team who are strong on defense and have offense-minded defensemen could potentially use this.
Does Brent Burns go back to the right side on the first line?
Like maybe that's what they do. Let's get nuts. But for this to work on the Leafs, the circumstances would have to be very different. Like for it to work on the Marlies, I think the way that the Leafs run their organizations, like the Marlies and the Growlers, I think it could work because with the Marlies, because who knows, like whatever, you want to develop defensemen, maybe that's the best way. I don't know. But when your strength is your offense, I don't think that makes, in my opinion, I don't think it makes sense. I'm not going to trash the idea because, like, I don't know. It could work on, like Daniel said, Nashville. It could work on San Jose. But you have Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Tavares, Robertson, whoever else. Like, you have all these guys, and you're telling me you're going to play three defensemen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want, at the end of the day, I don't want Martin Marincin playing defense.
No.
Like, the whole point of the Lettinen signing, the whole point of the Bogosian signing, and the TJ Brody signing was to make sure, in my mind, Martin Marincin only plays in the NHL for this team if there are multiple injuries.
Yeah. Not seventh team, maybe eighth or ninth.
I'd play Sandin and Liljegren ahead of Martin Marincin.
Yeah, I agree.
Daniel, has there ever been can you remember a time when the guy's been like, 3D? Like, not even on the power play, they've gone away to like 1D nowadays.
Yeah, I actually don't know because I remember when like that shift started happening when it was just the 1D on the power play, and that was really the only thing I thought of, where as the game got faster, you'd assume that you just kind of go less on D in those like high pressure offensive situations. So to kind of consider this, the way I see it is that the Toronto has done so well with getting defensemen that really complement the core they already had. Like, they've been really adamant about, fixing things that don't work. But the way I see it now is they're coming up with this option because there's a lot of guys that are coming onto this team that they're kind of used to that role. They're used to playing those big minutes that now I think maybe that idea goes with, how are we going to give these guys more of those opportunities when there's guys above them in the depth chart now. Like, where are we going to be able to kind of give them the minutes that they feel that they deserve or the opportunities they feel they deserve? But to me, it's kind of a bit of wonky thing. Maybe it's something that worked. But again, what Alex said, like, it's not like the Leafs are like lacking goal scorers. It's not like they're lacking, those high profile guys on offense to kind of complement things. Like when he brought up the San Jose Sharks, like, perfect. I think that would have work for them because that's where their strength is now. That's where things would go. And honestly, I don't trust their goaltending. So, maybe it's better if they have 3D on an odd man rush or something. But yeah, like when I look at San Jose, when I look at that forward core, it pales in comparison to what Toronto has.
I would kind of question doing Burns and Carlson at the same time for the idea of not trusting your goaltender, because I think you at the same time.
Yeah, no.
I had a lot of chances for the other team. I mean, you're going to get a lot of chances for you too, but just be careful with that.
Apparently, that was the argument too, that when, the Sharks were contending, Mark-Edward Vlasic settled things down so Brent Burns could do his thing. Yeah. But then afterwards, they're like, you only have one Mark-Edward Vlasic, but now you have Carlson and Burns.
You need like Mark Mathot. Just get Guy.
Dylan DeMello, remember when they had him?
Yeah, that would have been cursed. Yeah, that's such a complimentary top four if they could have gotten with DeMello in San Jose. Like, bad, you know what I mean? Like, if like at the same time as Eric.
Yeah.
Him and Eric is a pairing perfectly fine. Vlasic, Burns, and it doesn't matter. Again, I think Carlson's going to look great this year because he's had so much time to rest by the way.
That is true. Another thing with this idea that I just don't think makes sense for this team is that we know, like, one thing I think we've talked about on this podcast, and I brought it up even off the podcast, I don't necessarily at the moment trust all the big guys when it comes to pressure situations in terms of scoring. So if you're saying we're gonna focus on playing 2-4, so 8 guys, Marner, Matthews, Tavares, Nylander, Thornton, whoever, Simmons, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like you're rooting out the depth guys that who you need to step up.
Mm-hmm.
So to remove forwards and add D when we know depth scoring can win you games, I don't know if that makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm. Right. We teased it last week. We'll do it right now. We're going to look at the Athletic. Nice little article here from Craig Custins. NHL agent survey, 21 reps, talk star trades, bubble standouts, and off-season winners. Have you guys read this article?
No, because I assumed you didn't want us to.
Okay, good. Then,
I did not read this.
Good. Okay. So we're gonna go
I got scared there. I'm like, was I supposed to this week?
I'm not going to go through everything here because, of course, people go read The Athletic. It's awesome. Check out Harman Dial. Great guy. Which player or coach changed your opinion the most during the playoff bubble? And there's a reason I asked this. It's because number one on this list, I don't know how in the hell you didn't think this guy was a monster before. First and second place, one was a player, one was a coach. I want you guys to guess which coach had the most opinions changed about him in these playoffs. Because, like, take a guess.
I want to say Rick Bowness.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Daniel?
I don't know. When I think about Rick Bowness, it reminds me of a freelance journalist where he did all this work to make a name for himself.
Coach here.
And then you really thought like he was going to get that extension as being the full-time coach right away. But then like Dallas actually took a bit of time to announce that they're going to hire him as the full-time coach. So maybe that, because it just reminded me of the journalistic life.
Because he was always coveted. Like everyone wanted him. And he almost was it the Vancouver job? I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was Rick Bowness. He's the highest coach here. 4 votes of the people who voted here. The player who was number 1 was Braden Point.
That's fair. That's fair.
People's minds. I'm kind of surprised by that because it's Braden Point.
I don't know. I already knew he was going to be that dominant though.
Yeah, if you're a player agent, shouldn't you kind of be aware of how good people? Like, I mean, Braden Point was out playing Stamkos.
Like the 2016 World Juniors and the 15 World Juniors already showed us this.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, like I think I get what you guys are saying. I feel like there's a lot of people who still not doubt, undervalue Braden Point because he's playing behind Stamkos. He's playing behind Cooch. He's playing behind Hedman and Vasilevsky. Like when you think going into this season, yes, we knew Braden Point was good, but when you think of the Tampa Bay Lightning, I don't necessarily think it's the first name you think of. But now, after these playoffs, I most definitely think it's either number 1 or number 2. When I think Tampa Bay Lightning, Hedman, Braden Point, Kucherov, Vasilevsky, and Stamkos.
You know what's crazy? How lucky the Lightning are when these things happen. Like I remember when people used to always think the Lightning, it was Brad Richards, Martin St. Louis, Vincent Lecavalier. And then, when like Lecavalier starts kind of declining, not really playing how he does, Stamkos emerges. They get that first overall pick and he becomes what he becomes. St. Louis wants to get traded, goes to the New York Rangers. Didn't really work out, but it's fine. They get Nikita Kucherov 58th overall in 2011. And guess what? This guy's also developing into a star winger.
Single best season from a Russian player ever. When he won the Hart was like 120 something points.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
John Cooper was also up there, which is amazing to me. I guess like people got his faith back, but let's not forget this is the longest tenured coach in the league right now. So he's the longest at a single. Like he's been with his team the longest of anyone else because obviously Quinville got kicked to the can.
If he didn't win, then I would really question John Cooper.
Oh, yeah, I think it would be time. Shout out to Capo Caco, who got a vote, by the way. Apparently,
why?
Very mature coming back, which I thought
okay.
Yes, that's his agent talking.
I was going to say.
I remember Mike said he's going to be the best player out of that draft.
Yeah, how's that looking, Mike? Which
He might prove us wrong still. We don't know.
Yeah, obviously. We're gonna skip who improved the most because some people, when you want to go read this, which franchise still needs to make a significant move? Guess who was number one? And number
When was this? When was this? Sorry, when did the survey happen?
hold on a minute.
Post free agent frenzy.
Well, the article came out November 13th.
Oh, okay, perfect. Who
Washington
still
Capitals.
I think Vancouver or Winnipeg,
You're both wrong.
of course.
Number one was Boston.
Oh, I guess that's
Yeah.
a good pick. That's a good pick.
Because to me, like the Capitals, I think same thing. You know, we don't know what happened with the partying or anything, but like they just look stale to me. They look like they're content with that 2018 Cup.
Somebody gave them a vote for the most improved team, by the way, which I thought was like, excuse, like best off season. Number two was Tampa Bay, which I think makes a lot of sense because they still don't have the room to sign Sergachev and Chiarelli.
That's true.
Yeah.
I didn't. You know what? I guess I was thinking about the question wrong because I was thinking who needs to make a big move in terms of adding a player, and for some reason I still didn't think of Boston. But yeah, like I guess Tampa Bay definitely makes sense.
Edmonton is third, by the way. Florida fourth. I was like, okay, well, yeah, they need to get a partner for for Ekblad, and they've been needed for years.
Marcus Nudivara.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, Daniel?
Friend of the show? Not yet. Maybe one day.
Skip to the right stuff because you should probably figure that out. If we set, this is number 5, if we set the number of regular season games for the 21-20 this next season at 55 games, are you taking the over or the under? And 14 compared to 7 said it was going to be over that. Now, that number could fall.
That's fair.
Depending on how long it takes us to get started here, but I don't think any of us are really surprised. I think the three of us came to really consensus. I think it was last episode of like, it's more going to be between 50 and 60.
Yeah.
I said 54.
You said 54. Yeah.
I changed my answer. I said 48 the first time. I changed my answer.
So we're around there though. We're around there. It's hockey and we'll be fine. That's all we want. That's all we want. Name the highest profile player you expect to change team in
Patrick
the
Laine.
year.
You even need to finish the question.
Okay.
Is number 1 Patrick Laine?
Hold on, Daniel.
I'm gonna go on a whim and say Jonathan Taves.
Wow. That is a huge, that's crazy.
Well, Jonathan Taves or Patrick Kane they were put together into one vote.
How many times?
Tied first. Oh,
Just once? Oh.
once. It's labeled as Kane or Taves.
Oh, okay,
Not even
okay.
one. It's just they're together. Let's see it. This is really, really funny to me actually. So other guys who got one vote were Quick, McDonough, Werenski, Fleury, Van Riemsdyk, Pacioretty. 2 votes for Nylander. 3
course.
votes for Marner.
How?
First place.
Are they on
only
drugs?
Had 4 votes, and this is really this is after free agency technically. Jack Eichel and Patrick Laine.
Wow. So Patrick Laine is no surprise, right?
Yeah, that one's pretty. That's a given.
Damn. That Jack Eichel one.
If he gets traded, that's like an episode in and of itself.
If they miss the playoffs when he gets Taylor Hall next to him, and let's say Hall walks, I could see that.
Yeah,
I heard Halax. Sorry.
Sorry?
When you said Hall walks, I heard Halax.
Hall walks. Hall walks.
Halax.
walks. Taylor Hall does the thing of leaving the team.
Yaroslav Hall walks.
Yaroslav Aska walks off Eichel. But
I know what the name of the episode is.
what? Yaroslav
Hall dash HAL dash walk.
walking the halls without a thingamajigger, without a hall pass.
Yeah, like I'd be very surprised if Jack Eichel gets traded, but I think a lot of there's things that are gonna have to go wrong. And number 1, Taylor Hall walks, and number two, they miss the playoffs.
This is Buffalo, though. It is Buffalo. Never
Anything
say
can
never.
happen.
I know. I still don't know.
The thing is, like, I don't know, like they trade this guy who is a foundational guy, and then we're gonna get like more potential for what you're gonna try to build in 5 years.
Well,
Like,
if he
yeah,
says, I want to leave, then
Unless it's 1-for-1 for like another
one for what though?
I don't know,
What-
like a star?
What's
I
the
don't know.
comparable? What's like? We saw 1-for-1, Johansson, Seth Jones, right?
Mm.
And we clearly know who won that trade.
like Jack
Columbus.
Eichel for Leon Draisaitl.
for Jonathan Taves.
Like,
No, Patrick Kane, and they bring him home.
like what is the like if I'm Kevin Adams, my first question is, what on earth am I doing with this team? Like, if you're trading Jack Eichel, something serious has gone wrong, because Jack Eichel is supposed to be your building block. He is supposed to be the foundation of a house.
It's simply that you would never look at yourself trading him. It's just the question is here, I think, and based on the comments in that part, is eventually Eichel will say, I'm done with this. I'm done wasting my years here.
You're right. That's the only time you do not touch Jack Eichel. You don't call anyone asking about Jack Eichel unless he says, I would like to go, because you will look like you're not going to win that trade.
No.
Ever.
No. It's interesting. He talks about the Blackhawks joking. By the way, congratulations to Patrick Kane on the birth of his son, Patrick Kane the third. So I guess
Wow.
Patrick Kane himself is Patrick Kane the second.
You should
I
put Kane
didn't know
Jr. now on his jersey.
Creative hockey player on the ice, not creative naming his kid though. Copy paste. No reverse on his kid.
Calvin Kane.
What?
Calvin Kane.
Man, it's gonna in a few years.
Sorry.
Honestly,
Sorry.
we're gonna have Carey Price's son and Patrick Kane's son in the draft in 18 years. It's gonna be great.
You should have been Jonathan Kane and then Patrick Taves for their respective sons.
No, it's gonna be Brandon because they love Sod so much. They hate to keep seeing him go.
Is he ever coming back to the Blackhawks?
No.
Who knows? Probably. You know, no.
Well, who's GM?
He re-signs with them in the offseason.
Oh, he's so in there. He's so in. You know it. And they'll trade him for something even worse than the Kiwi door out.
Alex DeBrincat. Brandon's son.
We talked about this team a lot, Chicago, and we'll just go straight into the deep dive. Honestly, fellas, I would not be surprised if any day now, like, we hear that Andrew Shaw is just done because of his medical.
Yeah.
I am legitimately concerned for the guy because I was at a game when he was a Canadian that he got knocked out. He head to head with Greg Patterin, and it was really scummy because Patterin knew his concussion history, and freaking they collide. And he's goes after. It was so scummy. That and his girlfriend made fun of Quebec, and you don't really do that when you play for a Quebec team.
Wait, Greg Pattern's
his
girlfriend did
girlfriend
this?
was Quebec.
He was a Leafs pick.
Yeah, he was.
They traded him for Miguel Grabovski.
Steve Dangle doesn't know how to say his name, and every time he calls him Patera, I want to rip my hair out.
I prefer Mikhail Grabovski.
I mean, yeah, he was good. Funny guy. Really funny guy.
He is a very nice guy. We actually saw him at 31 Thoughts live.
Yes.
Just want to point that out.
So goalies for the Blackhawks, there's nothing there. It's unfortunately it's Colin Delia, and remember when we all thought Malcolm Subban was going to be the next great thing?
I did.
Yep. Unfortunately.
Barren desert in goal. And this
That's
is
just that's
It's
a bit of a
unfortunate.
disaster.
the Oilers picked them apart, and they still lost because the Oilers are even worse. But it just feels like it's like a leak of a pipe, and at any moment goals can just come through. And this is the team when Patrick Kane and Austin Matthews were trading goals in 8-6 games, doing the Hulk Hogan, do you hear me, brother? I mean, this is the level the Blackhawks are at.
Yeah, I don't know if that says more about the Blackhawks or more about the Leafs.
I think it says, it says they both allow a lot of goals.
Yeah, they do.
They both kind of suck defensively.
They do.
It's just one team has Frederick Anderson, the other one had Corey Crawford, who unfortunately had vertigo.
Yeah.
And then the Blackhawks have no depth, unfortunately.
Only if they didn't trade Robin Leonard.
No.
Yeah.
Because do you know what? They have, I say they don't have depth, but I feel like this season going into next, they still have Carpenter in camp. But you still have all the young guys we've talked about many times before, like DeBrincat and Stroh.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just such a silly stage right now because honestly, the Blackhawks, they have pieces. They have great players. They have good prospects. It's just the timetable of when they need to be good compared to where Kane and Taves are in their career. It's honestly how a lot of us thought about the Canadians a few seasons ago.
Yeah.
And I feel for the Blackhawks fans right now because I understand how they feel.
I have a question because I've been thinking about this when we decided we were going to do Chicago. It was actually the first thing that came to my mind. Are they in a similar position? Yeah, Montreal, but are they in a similar position to what what Detroit were in before they were actual garbage? Like before they were a literal tire fire?
I think they're in a better position personally because the way before Detroit really did fall off, it was kind of gradual and you saw it coming because Pavel Datsyuk left.
Yeah.
But then they kind of doubled down on the bad contracts. Like this is the same season. They also like gave extensions to like Darren Helm, to Justin Abdicator, and then Jonathan Erickson, and then they went out and got Franz Nielsen in free agency for some reason. That 1 year he made the All-Star team. So
yeah,
but at the same time, like there was also a Red Wings team that they actually didn't try to get young guys here and there. Like they weren't like, you know, they weren't really doing anything. I think with the Blackhawks, it's different because I guess, yeah, they've gotten lucky. Like I think they have foundational guys. It's just at this point, like they actually have a transition plan. I think if they get out of Kane and Taves, it's just
right.
Detroit actually really had to do a full scale rebuild.
Zetterberg was on his last legs, and Datsyuk sort of the same thing. Like Kane and Taves are still at this very moment.
Sure, but they're like I feel like for the last few years, and I think and when Taves made the comment of, "Oh, I didn't know we were doing the rebuild," that's when it kind of hit me that they've been trying to claw themselves into the playoffs and have been failing.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference between Detroit and Chicago is that Detroit clawed into the playoffs to extend their playoff streak, but Detroit did it. They didn't do it well.
I think Detroit were a few years more down the line, and I think we're seeing that now.
Right.
The Blackhawks, you are right, should have probably started this years ago, and if they had at the appropriate time, they probably would be in a better position going into this season. But they started to clean up their own mess, but it probably should never have been at this point. Detroit and Holland went at it for a few more years. They shouldn't. Like when they signed Trevor Daley, when they were nowhere near the playoffs.
Yeah, I didn't get that one. Yeah,
that was a sign when you're like, oh, like this. That's when I think people were really like, okay, Holland.
Yeah,
now
it's time.
He needs.
And I think like before the last 2 or 3 years, when I compared Detroit again, it's like they didn't have anyone high end, and they really kind of messed up.
Do they not have Dylan Larkin? Like I get Larkin's not high end, but
it's just by the time I think Larkin really came into his own,
that
was the end of Zetterberg and Datsyuk.
Yeah, like I'm thinking of like Michael Rasmussen or Alex. He always corrected me on saying his last name. I always mess it up. Dennis
Cholowski.
Yeah, him. Yes, he was kind of someone where they took in the first round, and people were like scratching their head, like, "Why did you do that?" And then it was like these other guys were, you know, they might prove me wrong still, like Mantha and Bertuzzi might become more than what I thought they will be, but at the time they were banking on them as top prospects, and I don't think like I saw them in that way.
Like,
that's fair.
When I was doing an Ottawa Senators GM mode once I lost Erik Karlsson, I didn't know what to do. Like, how do you replace Pavel Datsyuk and Henrik Zetterberg? You don't.
You don't.
And it's unfortunate, But I mean, and now they have Iserman and everything's fine because they're bastards. But I mean, I was looking at Chicago. I really am fascinated because if they do an American, if they're doing, obviously they are doing the 3 American sort of division, where they're going to be. Because if you're cutting down on track, first of all, Chicago should be in the East. Like, can we agree on that? Like, they should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, because geography and such. I wonder if they do sort of get into a division with Florida and Tampa, like something like that sort of happens.
God.
Or like they just say screw it and put them in the Metro. I'm interested to see where the Blackhawks actually play next year and like who they are up against. Because it could be fascinating.
I saw someone put the divisions, like just an idea. Let me see if I can find it. I think it was Greg Wyshynski. But that one, I know I saw it.
Does it have Colorado with Vegas in the same division, please? We have that?
Okay, I couldn't find the Greg Wyshynski one. This is from the hockeywriters.com. Now only if I could find the logo, the thing. Okay, so obviously the Canadian division, this is the Southeast Central Division. It would be Carolina, Chicago, Columbus, Florida, Nashville, St. Louis, Tampa, and Washington.
That's weird.
Yeah.
The Northeast Atlantic.
That'd be fun though. Washington and Tampa.
Fun. It would be fun. The Northeast Atlantic is Boston, Buffalo, Detroit, New Jersey, New York, both New Yorks, Philadelphia, and the Penguins. And lastly, the Pacific Central, Anaheim, Arizona, Colorado, Dallas, LA, Minnesota, San Jose, and Vegas. These are just potential ones, obviously, but
that last one's that's funny. I want to watch all that hockey very much. So. Very, very much. So Chicago aren't going to make the playoffs.
no,
I think they could surprise people. If they make a move for goaltending, I think they might surprise people because I wasn't really high on Kirby Dach. I thought they should have gotten Bowen Byram with that 3rd overall pick, but I think he is someone who is learning a lot from Kane and Taves, and it's not just from the real junior thing, but I think like he's had glimpses of what he can do as like a modern day power forward center.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm still not super high as I was if you asked me 4 or 5 years ago, or even 3 years ago. Like I think Dylan Strome could still be a good player.
Yeah.
And what they just need to do now, and this is one thing that I really hope they do, is they have a lot of guys coming up. Just don't trade anyone. Like don't touch Dominic Kubalik, don't touch Alex DeBrincat, don't touch Nicolas Boudin, don't touch like Adam Voquist. Just keep at it with that.
So I think the thing with this team is Stan Bowman has to decide what he wants to do. Because there are 2 paths for this team. He can go the Detroit route, and he can continue to claw himself into the playoffs and say, okay, we're just going to try to make the playoffs and hope Kane and Taves bring us far into the playoffs along with the Brinkat Kubalik. Or they can go the route similar to what Montreal is currently doing. And Montreal looks to be succeeding at that in retooling on the fly. How many years has Montreal been retooling? 2 or 3, right?
I want to say 2 years because 17-18 was the oh dear God year, and then
Right. So if they do this properly, they can still be tased. They won't necessarily be in their primes, but they're going to be still extremely good to the point where you can still win with Taves and Kane as your main guys. If you retool
1 year left on their deal, fun fact.
In 2 years, sorry, what?
In 2 years, they will have 1 year left. I believe they have 3 years left. So it's not funny little time.
You know, if they decide to trade,
Right.
I think Patrick Kane will still have value. Like I think of Martin St. Louis, who was traded for like a boatload of draft picks when he was like 38.
Kane is still nasty. He's honestly one of the best players in the world. No one really talks about it anymore because of the stuff that happened with him.
Also, this is not 2015. This is not 2013 anymore. So
It's like the Blackhawks are in a deep playoff run where we get to like experience him and the Kings just trying killing each other.
it's their defense, I think, is the
Oh my god!
when I look at it, yeah, like there's just money thrown everywhere that it doesn't really contribute to anything.
It's just you lost the services of Peak Seabrook and you lost Yarmouthson.
But you're still paying Calvin DeHaan, Connor Murphy, Nikita Zadorov.
I can't believe they let Slater Cuckoo walk. That was just really unfortunate.
Yeah, that was surprising to me. He was like, I mean, like
I'm making a joke. Okay?
Oh, for me, I'm
not being
serious. He didn't live up to being 10th overall in 2012, but he at least remodeled himself as like a very dependable, like left side, like third pairing guy that could be in your lineup every day.
He did what Zach Bogosian did.
Yeah, basically. But Zach Bogosian's he is a favorite of the show, so he can't. No one compares to him.
Right. I think we'll leave it there for today then.
Do you want to talk about the players or the league asking for 13% deferral? Because I have an opinion on it. I just feel like it's unpopular.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Going with the Ontario tax.
Okay. Just the thing is, okay. Here's what I'll say, and I'll give it over to you. I just want players to get as much money as possible.
Yeah.
It's more than just the rich dudes. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Is it the worst thing that Carey Price isn't gonna make $13 million? No, the guy's contract is like $80-90 million, and he gets sponsorships. I just hate if you're ever taking away from the likes of a guy. I'll just throw Brandon, like somebody who is not in the league like for 82 games of a year, who's going to be
right.
in the AHL traveling. I hate it for that guy.
Absolutely. But he's going to get that money eventually.
Yeah. It's just.
No, I understand. Like I say it's unpopular because I think everyone is on board of saying, screw the league. But I think in the light of baseball, asking for prorated contracts, the fact that the league's only asking for the money to be deferred, like let's take a step back. Despite, I think obviously Gary Bettman wants to play, but I think secretly there are owners who are saying, for especially the ones who don't own the stadium, saying, well, if we don't play, I don't have to, I break. Not you don't necessarily break even, but you're cutting your losses by much more than playing with no fans in the stand.
23 teams. We're losing even more money, sir.
Right. So I think both sides want to play. I think it was on one hand, I think it's a really poor move from the NHL now saying, hey, can we defer 13% more? I think if you want, you should have known that this situation wasn't going to get any better by December or January.
The retro jerseys were not enough.
Right. Yeah.
We overestimated them.
I think the league had to have known that. I mean, I was saying it yesterday. I don't understand why there is no proper plan for lockdowns or whatever from the government. We knew from March that there was going to be an issue in October, November, December. To be confused is unacceptable in my eyes. But on every end, federal, provincial, whatever. And the same goes here. You can't sign a deal in June and now say you want more money. You want more money deferred. You should have known that this was going to be an issue.
Mm-hmm. No, that's fair. That's fair.
But I think the player, I'm glad the players are eventually going to get that money.
Yeah.
That's what the good thing out of this is.
I'm still interested. I don't think there's been anything exact about if they do play 50 games, do they get the full salary of an 82 game? Because if you start saying no, I imagine NHLers are going to start getting a little miffed off, especially with the deferrals. And you look at the MLB and it's like they got paid. Fred VanVleet just got
prorated, right? So I think this is my understanding of it is that right now they're going to get paid 72% of their current salary. 20% is escrow, and then 10% of that 80% is going to be deferred, which
Okay.
means they're going to get this money eventually.
All right.
Now what they're asking for is 13 more percent is going to be deferred. So eventually they're going to get this money.
Yeah.
That's my understanding of it, barring actual catastrophes.
But is there a guarantee that it will be that 70 odd percent? Like, let's say.
Yeah, that's my understanding of it.
Okay. And that's what I'm wondering about. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it's not prorated. Like, it's not like what was going on. My understanding of the MLB is that it was prorated. So, like, you know how William Nylander's contract skyrocketed in the first year because it was prorated?
Yeah.
So because they're playing less games, it's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be prorated.
Because like his cap, it was $11 million for one season. It's
Yeah,
like, everyone's
but
like,
apparently everyone still thinks he's making $11 million. People are confused.
but it's what, like 6 point,
It's 6.9.
6.9. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, that's my opinion on that.
Okay.
All I got to say for it
Yeah.
is another indication that, you know, we can never predict when these things happen that, you know, suspend sports for so long and, you know, really kind of magnify a lot of things that, you know, you kind of have to deal with. When I think about the NHL, where I think this is just an indication that, you know, when you mentioned the MLB, when you mentioned the NBA, it's just, you know, we got to grow the game even more. Like, I think that a big thing is for us as being Canadian, it's still fixated on the thing that, you know, it's our national sports, or it's part of our national identity kind of thing. But, you know, not just where the teams were this, like, there's teams in the cities, but also, like, you know, in the US too, like, the game has to grow.
Yeah.
Because it's stagnating a bit, like, from what I've, like, also I'm doing this for an assignment, but for professors I've spoken to, like sports psychologists, you know, like, it's a good thing for us, the Toronto Raptors, winning the NBA championship. It's not good for hockey.
Oh God, no.
Yeah. So that, just leave it there. Where, like, that's just been the contrast the last 2 years.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to Professor Stacy Lorenz, the University of Alberta, continues to help me with my assignments.
What a nice lady.
It's a guy.
Oh, what's his name again?
Its first name is Stacy.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's just okay. I shouldn't assume that. I'm sorry.
No problem.
All right. I think that's everything for today. Not a bad episode.
Not a bad
Pretty good.
episode.
Maybe we're getting close to maybe needing bizarre adventures though.
Are we?
Real close.
Maybe.
I don't know what.
I don't know. That'd be fun.
I have a feeling once they get everything sorted out in terms of when they're playing, I think we're gonna have a lot. Maybe not a lot more. We're gonna have more to talk about.
I mean, we have the World Juniors coming up.
That is but
That is
still
true.
not for, like,
Unless that gets canceled.
oh God, I hope not.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
God, I hope not.
I would not be able to bring myself onto this show.
Man, I really hope, because, man, Caulfield, he hasn't scored a goal, but he's been playing unreal in Wisconsin. And apparently, because he got to go to the U.S. camp, obviously,
Yeah.
play it.
Mm.
And I would be really excited to see him in the World Junior sweater again, and really, hopefully, like, properly utilized.
Yeah.
Really,
Also,
I can't wait to watch the Russian team.
something I kind of thought of too, and, you know, I'm doing another shout out right now
Okay.
to Lucas Weiss on Twitter.
Yeah.
And he's the one who mentioned it. And a big thing that they still are hoping for is the CIS versus the World Junior Camp Challenge, because that's a huge thing with Hockey Canada's partnership with university sports in Canada.
Are they going to do that? Because, like, my understanding is all U sports were canceled for the year, and then there was some type of tournament going on in BC, and I heard that was canceled as well.
Ben Steiner needs to get
Yeah.
And what?
Ben
Ben
Steiner
Steiner.
needs to get on this.
Oh yeah.
One thing, I remember it was a proposal. They don't know if it's confirmed yet, but they're not doing what they used to do. It used to be a CIS, or not CIS anymore. It used to be a U Sports All-Star team against the World Junior Selection Camp. They're not doing that anymore because there's so many so many universities that are not, like, including Ryerson, that are not playing this year. So I think it's specific teams that they might get around BC or, like, Quebec or the Atlantic provinces, because they're places that are still attempting to play games in a bubble. So it's a specific team from one school that will go against like the real juniors.
If I am Sportsnet or TSN and that happens, I jump on that so quickly. I am so tired of watching NHL rewinds.
I believe it's TSN. They have like the exclusive rights to the real juniors.
Well, and they better show this game.
Okay, I think we're good then. If you enjoyed the show, which of course you did, be sure to check out the YouTube version for a video experience of the podcast. The link will be in the description. You can see our beautiful faces and how my lighting changes episode from episode. I can have warm and cold light at the same time. You don't know how. Gary Gould will be so disappointed in me.
I think all three of us, to be honest.
If you're listening, then no one's listening.
Luckily, I'm not at that point. It's weird.
Are you looking fabulous?
I think
We're all fabulous.
yeah. Well, some more than others, and I'm just at the pinnacle of all this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
If you enjoyed, on iTunes, give us 5 stars, leave a review. Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, we're going to be on it. So,
Damn right we will be.
Shout out to VoiceEd for always being a fantastic platform for the show. Check out my YouTube channel for your Habs needs. Check out Alex's blog. Check out all of Daniel's stuff for the Ryersonian. We're Team Ryersonian, not eye opener here.
Well, for now.
Okay.
For now.
I'm only with the Ryersonian until December, until the end of December.
Okay, well, as of November 21st, 2020. Hopefully you didn't hear that.
Ding. We all heard it.
As of November 21, 2020, we are pro Ryersonian, subject to change.
Subject to change. When does the semester end?
Great question.
December something.
5th or something, 7th maybe.
I don't know.
We just want the semester to end.
Honestly,
I'd like to get a grade back. But, the professor would just make jokes about that. I've got 1 grade and everything all semester. And an 8-page research essay due and no proposal back.
There's a part of me that really wants to know if your professor listens to the podcast, because that would be hilarious.
I don't think that particular professor.
He's not a hockey guy.
He is. From what I can tell, that this professor does not seem like a hockey.
That's funny. That's funny.
This professor is a very nice professor.
Mm-hmm.
Is he a cool guy?
Great person.
He's a fun guy.
I am not even trying to mention any detail, and Alex keeps going. So tell me about the dude. This person's a very good professor, very enthusiastic, knows what they are talking about in their subject. Yeah. It's just
subject?
I'm not telling you. I just need a grade back, professor, so badly.
Professor, what's his name?
Professor Sin.
Hey, Daniel said we have to ask the hard-hitting questions, right?
I know.
So I'm asking the hard-hitting questions here.
All right. I'm going.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.